Hey there, Tom from Purpose Built Moto. Right now, I'm about to run you through what has to be the easiest way to simplify your custom motorcycle electrics, our black box system and the push button switches that go with it. What I'll do is run you through the design features of our buttons, the features on our black box and the accessories kit, and then I'll show you how we put it into use on some of the custom bikes in our garage. Starting with our switch range, we make a range of 2 and 3 button switches in both 7/8 and 1-inch sizes to suit nearly any handlebar that you could imagine. Our 3 button are the most popular because if you use 2 of those, it'll pretty much cover anything you need on an electric start motorcycle. There's been a lot of different designs come onto the market recently for push button switches. We've been making these things for nearly 5 years now, one of the first companies to come to market with a product like this. Because of that, and using these things every day on our own custom motorcycles, we've been able to refine the design to make sure that you're getting the cleanest switch block possible, that's easy to install and has the longevity that you need on your custom bike. Our switch blocks come in both a black and brushed alloy finish, and if installed correctly, completely hide your wiring inside the handlebars. A lot of the push buttons that you see around will use a screw type connection. That's something that I've really steered clear on because it's such a small connection on a bare wire, it's bound to cause breakage with the vibration of your motorcycle. Instead, we've opted and always have for a soldered connection. Doing these correctly can create a really strong joint that's going to last a lot longer than any screw connection will, especially when it comes up against vibration. Another update that we've made is having the thread recessed down inside. So once your cables are soldered on and run through the switch block, the switch only takes 3 turns until it's seated home and ready to install on your handlebar. Because these switch blocks are made so small, they do take a fine touch to install properly, but if you head out to our YouTube channel, we do have a very detailed video on just how to install these things with a bunch of tips and tricks. And like everything we design, simplicity is key, and that carries through our whole product range. So I'll take you through the black box now as well. The black box has been through a few iterations. What we've done is taken the functionality from our last module, added a few features and managed to decrease the size by nearly 50%, which leaves you with this tiny module that can hide nearly anywhere on your motorcycle and that gives anyone the capability of rewiring their own custom bike. Probably the biggest update on the latest version of our black box is 6-volt capability. Our new black box can run on 6 or 12-volt systems, so that means you can use this thing on anything from a vintage dirt bike right up to modern day customs. Now in the black box we have control capability for your high and low beam, left and right indicators, a built-in kill switch and a fuse included as well. We haven't included the brake switch because that doesn't need to run through a control module. Every bike has a front and rear brake switch and can be wired directly to the rear brake light. In the wiring diagrams that we give you with the black box and listed on our website, we show you how to make this happen with the use of our accessories kit to make sure everything's protected. The high and low beam on the black box module is controlled by a single push button. One short press will give you a passing light flash, and hold that button down for 1.5 seconds and it'll latch your high beam on. Press it again to fall back onto low beam. The indicators have a self timeout. A short press will give you a 3 flash lane change on left or right, and a longer press will hold it on for 35 seconds. Auto timing out and turning off when you're done, so you're never left running with your indicator on the road. The kill switch circuit runs off a 15 amp normally closed circuit. One press of the button, it breaks the circuit and will cut power to your ignition, or can be also set up to lift or put an earth in place, depending on the bike's setup. We also run through this in a detailed blog on our website when it comes to install. Now, although the black box is designed to work with our LEDs, being the headlights and indicators, brake lights that we make, we've made sure that the current capacity of our little module is able to run the old sort of incandescent headlights as well. So the stuff on your vintage bike, if you want to retain it and just use the switch buttons to keep that vintage look, the black box has the capacity to run that power output as well. The last thing I'll mention is the integrated 15 amp fuse. This protects all the lighting functionality within the black box and is a standard automotive micro fuse. Now, as you can imagine, we've installed a lot of these over the years, and the best way that we've figured out how to do it is with the addition of a few simple parts. using a 12-pole terminal strip and 2 fuses. One of these will be for your main fuse. It protects everything, including the regulator output, and the other one is for your accessories, the things that don't run through the black box. This would be things like your rear brake light and also the gauge up front. The 2 fuses that come with the accessories kit come installed with a 20 amp and a 15 amp fuse. You can change these if it suits your particular installation, but across the board we've generally found that this is the current capacity that you'll need on most bikes. This can be purchased separately or as a kit with the black box, as can the switches, getting in a bundle deal and saving you a few dollars. That's enough for the product rundown. If you do need more information, we have plenty of videos and blogs on the website giving you a very in-depth rundown, also installation tips. Now I'll take you over to a bike that we've just recently finished, a Triumph Thruxton, to show you how we've used these in practice. Now you'll be able to see a full build rundown on this Triumph Thruxton that we've just finished up, but what I need to show you is the electronics work that we've done. So we've done a bunch of custom work on this carburetted Triumph, including a wide wheel kit on the front. We've just got a few more bits and pieces to do, but what I need to show you is under here. So neatly tucked away under the seat is our black box module, and we've also included the accessories kit here as well. Now the way that we wire these bikes is by having one small joining section underneath the tank here, but the rest of the lighting and control modules from the front and rear run into this box underneath the seat where we have a terminal connection. The reason we do it this way is so if ever there's a fault, if you're out on the road and something goes wrong, you can easily get at your electrical connections, and if you need to test and figure out what it is, it's all located right here, not wrapped up in meters and meters of electrical tape hidden in all sorts of stupid areas on your bike. This is by far the simplest way to rewire a motorcycle and repair it if it ever needs to be repaired. Alright guys, I hope that's shed a bit of light on our switches range and the black box products that we create. If you do have any questions about any of the stuff that we've talked about in this video, leave me a comment below, or if you have an in-depth question about your specific install, shoot me an email, I'd be happy to help. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the next one.